Hey English practicers, I'm teacher Basali. Today I want you to have a look at this photo. What do we have here? An apple. Yes, an apple. What do you think about these apples? Are they the same? When it comes to color, yes, they have the same color. They are red. What about the size? Do they have the same size? No, I don't think so. Apple 1 and apple 2. Apple 1 is small. Apple 2 is big. Yes, big. Let's put them next to each other and see. Now apple 1 and apple 2. Now apple 1 is smaller than apple 2. Apple 1 is smaller than apple 2. Apple 2 is bigger. Apple 2 is bigger than apple 1. Now let's move to another example. I want you to have a look at this photo and think about these people. That's John and David. John is tall, yes, and David is short. Again, let's put them next to each other. John is taller than David. John is taller than David. And David is shorter than John. David is shorter than John. Yes. Now let's move to another example. I want you to have a look at this photo and think about it. You have here Smith and Richard. Smith looks happy. Richard looks sad. Now let's put them next to each other. What do you think? Smith looks happier than Richard. Smith looks happier than Richard. Yes. Now I want you to have a look at this photo and think about it. How many dogs do we have here? 4. Yes, we have 4 dogs. Are they the same? No. We have 3 white dogs and 1 black dog. Yes. What about the size? Are they the same size? No. The black dog is big. The white dogs are small. Now let's put them next to each other. The black dog is the biggest. The black dog is the biggest. Yes. Now let's read these sentences. I'm going to read, then you will repeat after me, okay? Apple 1 is bigger than apple 2. Yes. Now let's move to another sentence. John is taller than David. Yes. Michael is happier than Richard. Great. The black dog is the biggest. Yes. I want you to fill in the blanks using the words between brackets. Let's start with the first one. John is tall. John is tall. I want you to think about it. Yeah. John is tall. That's simple. John is tall. So why not taller? Why not John is taller? Simply because we don't have a comparison here. We add er to the adjective if we want to compare two persons or objects. For example, if we add David to the photo, we can say John is taller than David. But since we have only John in the photo, we can simply say John is tall. That's it. Now let's move to the next exercise. The black dog is big. The white dog. I want you to think about how many dogs do we have here. We have two dogs, the black and the white. One. So the black dog is bigger than the white dog. Very good. The black dog is bigger than the white dog. Why not just big? Because we have here a comparison. We have two dogs. For example, if we have only the black dog, we can simply say the black dog is big. That's it. But since we have two dogs, we have to make a comparison. That's why we add that er to the adjective big. Then it becomes bigger, and we add than after the adjective to make it seem like the black dog is bigger than the white dog. If we have more than two dogs, for example, if we have one black dog and three white dogs, what can you use as superlative adjectives? For example, the black dog is the biggest. Yeah, the black dog is the biggest. But since we have only two dogs, we can simply use a comparison, adding er to the adjective big. Then it becomes the black dog is bigger than the white dog. I want you to think about how many apples do we have here. So we have about 4 apples, 1 small apple, and 3 big apples. So think about it. Apple 2 is small. Apple 2 is the smallest. Very good. The smallest. Apple 2 is the smallest. Here we are comparing apple 2 to the other apples. Comparing one object to the other objects. One apple to the other apples. Apple 2 is the smallest. For example, if we have here only 2 apples, we can say that apple 2 is smaller than apple 1. If we have only 1 apple, we can simply say apple 2 is small. But since we have more than 2 apples, we can use superlative adjectives saying apple 2 is the smallest. Yes. Now I want you guys to use these 3 words as an adjectives, comparative and superlative adjectives: new, warm, and easy. Let me give you an example to make it clear for you. Let's take new as an example. Amal High School is newer than Derfofi High School. Here we are. I am comparing 2 high schools, Amal and Derfofi. Amal is newer. Now let's have a superlative adjective comparing Amal High School to the other high schools in the area. So Amal High School is the newest high school in the area, the newest, comparing it to the other high schools. That's it, comparative and superlative. I want you guys to write these words in different situations, different sentences, as many sentences as possible, as much practice as possible. Practice makes it perfect, not perfect, but it makes progress. By practice, you move to the next stage, and the next stage, and so on and so forth. Thank you guys for your attention. This was the comparative and superlative adjectives. See you later.